Good evening. I was doing my little review on some financial things, and I'm always reading up on things outside of the SSA website and those legal areas to see what's being said out in the financial sector. Um, anyway, so came across this pretty timely, not old, it's August of 2023 article by the Motley Fool. And I appreciate it. It has to do with retirement, so it's not disability. Although, we have some videos that talk about disability to retirement and things that can um, intervene a little bit. But anyway, this was, it's called Three No-Brainer Reasons to Claim Social Security at Age 67. Now, the only thing I'd say about the title is that I think it may be more appropriate to say at least at age 67. But I think the whole drive here is to consider not taking it early. And I think that's really well taken. I know some people really love to take early and so many people have to. But I just want to get into this a little bit. They make some interesting, provide some interesting stats right off the bat. And I'm going to link this article below. So don't worry about that. You can read it yourself. That nearly 1 in 3 Americans begin receiving Social Security benefits at age 62. As you know, age 62 is the early retirement age, and you get a significant discounted amount. I know I did a rundown several months ago showing exactly what one particular, like a snapshot of one person, what their benefit would be at 62 versus 67 and versus 70. And it's rather staggering. So if one is to be relying a lot on their Social Security retirement, it's definitely something to consider if you don't have to take it at 62. But anyway, they're saying nearly 1 in 3 Americans begin receiving Social Security benefits at age 2. I'm not sure if they actually mean Americans, because you don't have to be American to collect Social Security retirement if you paid into it. So that might just be a little error, or maybe they are saying of the Americans, it's nearly 1/3. Now, if you add in everybody else, I mean, for instance, my mother, she's not American, but she collects Social Security retirement because she paid in for, I don't know, 40, 50 years, something like that. Okay. Then it also says that more than half of us Americans, even if we don't take it at 62, there is at least half of us take it before, or more than half of us, it says, before our full retirement age. And as y'all probably know, full retirement age is now approaching 67. I think it's 67 for me, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am. What am I doing? Just kidding. Not really. So they're providing 3 what they call no-brainer reasons for waiting to 67. And I can't disagree with these. So I think this is really good, and I hope people read it. They talk about the fact that you can make more money working. And this goes back to when you are taking before full retirement age, you collect retirement before then, you are claimed to be retired, which means you have to be largely not working. Not working totally, but largely not working, which means there's an earnings limit that you can have. Otherwise, you're not considered eligible for early retirement because you're not really early retired. So that's what they're referring to. If you make over a certain amount and you've collected before full retirement amount, for the full retirement age, the SSA is going to start taking away $1 for every $2 you earned. And potentially you could be owing back the entire Social Security early retirement check you got in any particular month for that reason. So you always want to know those numbers if you're going to work while collecting early. The interesting thing too is if you do collect early and you do work too much and you shouldn't have been collecting or not collecting as much because they're going to whittle it down, it's actually going to be paid back to you later, because it's actually going to increase the benefit amount that you kind of cut short, and discounted severely when you took early. That early discount is actually going to get smaller now. So you're going to actually be taking more later if you had to give some up. So that's kind of like a silver lining to that, but the hassle in between can be a bit of a pain. What else does it say about that? I'm not going to go into the details about the $1 back for every $2. You can read that yourself. The obvious point, people wait till 67 because they're going to get a higher amount. We just discussed a little bit that discounted amount that is significantly reduced. I mean, 30% potentially, something around there. Don't hold me to the exact amount. I heard one guy just do a statement that it was closer to 40%, but in any event, it's significant and it's permanent. So, if you're able to work and you're collecting early retirement, you just reduce your permanent retirement, the one you're going to be collecting all by itself when you're no longer able to work, if you are ever so at that point. So the higher Social Security benefit is by waiting to 67. But this is where I also bring up the fact that waiting till 70, and it's in that other video, I'll try to find it and link it up. But waiting till 70 jumps you up even more than 67, quite a bit more. Let's say another 30%. Or thereabouts. So holding off, as long as you never hold off beyond age 70, can be a really good idea. And certainly 67 is leaps and bounds better than 62 if what you want is a higher Social Security benefit and you can wait. And then they go on to say, and this one was well taken too, more time to save for retirement. So many of us, I mean, it's scary when I'm close to retirement age, and it's a little frightening how little retirement many of us have, maybe because we didn't save properly, maybe because we spent too much on our kids, maybe we took jobs we loved that didn't pay for a 3-car garage. I don't know, just saying, we all have our reasons, right? They make the point that Social Security retirement is designed to provide only about 40% of our pre-retirement income. That's a big cut if we're living on that. So if we are still working robustly, full-time income, and we want to keep doing that, we have to delay collecting retirement until at least 67, because again, like we just discussed above, you're not going to be able to work robustly like in your full-time manner that you did before, making lots of monies that you could save if you are collecting early retirement. But you can continue to work as robustly as you want after 67, or before 67 if you're not collecting early retirement. And then of course at 67 you can now work balls to the wall again if you want to. But if you're collecting before age 67, you're not going to be able to do that. So anyway, really good points. They have some other things down here. I didn't even read these things. I just was really sick that they were putting that out there, because I just don't think people know it enough. And everyone's so busy, they don't have time to research it. They don't even know maybe that they should. They don't really know that it's an issue. How you don't know what you don't know if you don't know all that. So and they do give a little alternative down here. It's not part of the 3 things they were talking about, but they do discuss the whole waiting till age 74. I'm sorry, 70, that it will increase your monthly benefit by 24%. I've actually seen different numbers and I did the math, so I'm not so sure about the 24%. But in any event, even if it is 24%, that is pretty fabulous. They may have gotten the 24% because we always assume about 8% a year, and 70 is 3 years after the 67. But I'm going to go double check that chart I had on the one person, and I think I saw something different. Anyway, I'll try to post it below if I get around to it. Anyway, awesome. Great reasons to wait to retire, collect Social Security retirement if you can. And for those of us that cannot, and often that's disability reasons or caretaking for another person, it's tough, it's tough. But for those that just on a whim decide to retire and collect, you might want to think twice if you don't have to. All right, bye now.